If you're over 60, what's on your plate right now could be silently destroying your joints, and you wouldn't even know it until it's too late. Arthritis doesn't start with pain. It starts with tiny, invisible chemical reactions inside your body. And here's the shocking truth: 99% of seniors have no idea the foods they eat every day are fueling those reactions, stealing years of mobility and independence. Studies show up to 37% of arthritis flare ups are directly linked to diet. In a University of Sydney study, people eating the most trigger foods developed arthritis symptoms 9 years earlier than those who avoided them. 9 years. Gone. And the number one worst offender? Research shows it could increase your risk by 48%, even if you're a healthy weight. The worst part: some of these joint destroying foods are marketed as healthy. But here's the good news: the same science that uncovers the damage also reveals four powerful foods that can protect your joints, fight inflammation, and keep you moving well into your 80s. The information in this video is backed by real science. We've spent hours digging through peer-reviewed research, and every single reference is linked in the description below. Before we dive in, tell me in the comments, if you had to give up one food forever to save your joints, what would it be? Number 4. Processed meats. Many people think of deli meats, sausages, bacon, and hot dogs as harmless occasional treats. But when it comes to arthritis, the science says otherwise. These foods are loaded with compounds called advanced glycation end products, AGEs, formed when meat is cooked at high temperatures, smoked, or cured. AGEs act like tiny molecular splinters that lodge in your tissues, including joint cartilage, triggering your immune system to attack and setting off inflammation. A 2017 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition tracked over 1,000 adults with early arthritis symptoms. Those who ate processed meats at least twice a week had double the risk of worsening symptoms within a year compared to those who rarely ate them. The problem doesn't end there. Processed meats are high in omega-6 fatty acids from cheap seed oils, pushing the body toward an inflammatory state. Sodium is another culprit. These are salt-heavy foods, and excess sodium can leach calcium from bones and disrupt joint fluid balance, increasing swelling and stiffness. In a 2019 Japanese study, arthritis patients with the highest sodium intake reported 34% more morning stiffness than those on lower sodium diets. Even low-fat or reduced sodium versions aren't safe. The curing process creates nitrosamines, linked to inflammation and tissue damage. Lean deli turkey often contains phosphates and preservatives that can be just as harmful. The good news: swapping to fresh, unprocessed proteins makes a difference. Lean chicken, turkey, fresh fish, or plant-based proteins like lentils and chickpeas avoid the inflammatory load. Roast chicken with anti-inflammatory spices like turmeric and rosemary, both shown to reduce joint swelling, or cook meats at lower temperatures, such as steaming or slow cooking, to cut AG formation by up to 50%. Every reduction counts, especially over 60. Inflammation is cumulative. The less fuel you give it, the longer your joints can keep you moving freely. Now that we've tackled processed meats, let's move up the list to something even more common and potentially even more damaging. Number 3. Refined sugars. If processed meats are like tossing dry twigs into the fire of arthritis, refined sugars are like pouring gasoline on it. The problem isn't just empty calories or weight gain. Sugar directly drives inflammation in a way that's especially harsh on aging joints. When you eat sugar from candy, pastries, or sweetened drinks like soda and flavored coffee, it spikes blood glucose. This sudden surge triggers the release of pro-inflammatory molecules called cytokines. Think of cytokines as messengers racing through your bloodstream shouting, "Attack mode, now." That's fine when fighting infection, but in arthritis, these signals make your immune system attack your own joint tissue. One of the most eye-opening studies, published in BMJ Open in 2017, followed over 1,200 adults for 12 years. Those who drank sugar-sweetened beverages 5 times a week or more had a 63% higher risk of developing rheumatoid arthritis than those who rarely drank them. The risk remained high even after adjusting for weight, showing sugar's damage is direct, not just a side effect of added pounds. It's not just liquid sugar. Refined carbs like white bread, cookies, and pastries break down rapidly, spiking blood sugar and fueling the production of AGEs, advanced glycation end products, compounds that stiffen and damage cartilage. In an arthritis care and research trial, cutting added sugar by half lowered CRP, a key inflammation marker, by 29% in just 8 weeks. Sugary drinks add another risk: phosphoric acid, found in many colas and energy drinks, which can leach calcium from bones, a dangerous mix with inflamed joints. Cutting sugar doesn't mean giving up sweetness. Whole fruits like berries, oranges, and apples contain natural sugars with fiber and antioxidants that slow absorption. Herbal teas or sparkling water with citrus can replace soda, and spices like cinnamon or vanilla can give sweetness without the inflammatory hit. If sugar is gasoline on the fire, our next food is like slow acid, eroding cartilage until the damage can't be ignored. Number 2. Fried foods. If sugar burns your joints fast, fried foods destroy them slowly but relentlessly, like a leak in your roof that rots the beams over time. The biggest problem isn't just the high heat, it's what that heat does to the oils and fats in your food. When you deep fry or pan fry, especially with cheap seed oils like soybean, corn, or palm oil, you create a storm of harmful compounds, trans fats, oxidized oils, and advanced glycation end products, AGEs. Together, they trigger chronic, low-grade inflammation, the silent kind that chips away at cartilage day after day, long before symptoms appear. Trans fats are especially dangerous because your body doesn't know how to use them properly. They look like healthy fats but have a twisted chemical shape that gets built into your cell membranes incorrectly, making them rigid and dysfunctional. In joint tissue, that means less flexibility, slower repair, and more pain. A 2014 arthritis and rheumatology study found people with the highest blood levels of trans fats had nearly double the risk of severe arthritis symptoms compared to those with the lowest levels. Restaurant frying makes matters worse. Oils are often reused repeatedly, and each reheating oxidizes them further, breaking them down into aldehydes, toxic compounds that directly damage joint lining cells. In 2020, University of Barcelona researchers showed mice fed oxidized oils developed cartilage damage 43% faster than controls, even when calorie intake was the same. It's not just fast food. Frying at home with vegetable oils at high heat causes similar damage. Combine high heat with starchy foods like potatoes or breaded items, and you produce acrylamide, another inflammatory compound linked to oxidative stress in joint tissues. The solution isn't to ban fried food forever. It's to change your cooking methods. Baking, steaming, roasting, or air frying at lower temperatures can slash harmful byproducts. Even sautéing in extra virgin olive oil at medium heat is far safer, thanks to its antioxidants and healthy fats. If you crave crunch, coat vegetables or chicken in almond flour and bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. In fact, replacing just 2 fried meals per week with grilled or baked options lowered CRP, a key inflammation marker, by 19% in over 60 adults within 3 months, according to the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. If fried foods are like acid rain on your joints, our number one worst food is more like a wrecking ball, and it could raise arthritis risk by nearly 50%. Number 1. Sugary baked. This one surprises many people because it feels like pure comfort food, not a health hazard. Cookies, muffins, donuts, cakes, and pies. They're the treats we share at family gatherings, grab with coffee, or enjoy on a rainy afternoon. But for your joints, they're a perfect storm. These desserts pack refined sugar, refined flour, unhealthy fats, and often hidden trans fats into one bite, combining multiple arthritis triggers. The science is clear. A 2019 arthritis care and research study tracked over 2,200 adults for 6 years. Those eating baked goods or pastries at least 4 times weekly had a 48% higher risk of developing osteoarthritis symptoms compared to those eating them less than once a week. The risk remained even after adjusting for weight, showing the damage comes from inflammation and harmful chemical reactions, not just extra pounds. Why so damaging? Refined sugar spikes blood glucose, pushing the immune system into inflammatory overdrive. Refined white flour acts almost the same, breaking down quickly and causing another spike. Shortening or margarine, common in store-bought pastries, adds trans fats that end in cell membranes, making joint tissues less flexible and harder to repair. High-temperature baking also produces advanced glycation end products, AGIs, which stiffen and inflame joints from the inside. The real trap is frequency. Unlike fried chicken or bacon, pastries can slip into daily life unnoticed. A muffin at breakfast, a cookie after lunch, cake at a party, creating constant, low-grade inflammation that builds over time. The fix: swap to homemade versions using almond or oat flour, coconut sugar or pureed dates, and olive oil instead of shortening. Bake at lower temperatures to reduce AGIs and add anti-inflammatory spices like cinnamon or ginger. In a 2021 University of Illinois trial, replacing store-bought pastries with low-sugar homemade ones for 12 weeks cut morning stiffness by 25% and improved grip strength, proof that small changes can deliver real relief. Now that we've uncovered the 4 foods most likely to wreck your joints after 60, let's starting with 4 powerful foods that can protect your cartilage, calm inflammation, and help you move freely for years to come. Number 4. Fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines. If the worst foods pour fuel on the fire of arthritis, fatty fish act like a team of firefighters working from the inside out. Their secret weapon: omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid, and DHA, docosahexaenoic acid. These aren't just healthy fats in the vague sense. They are biologically active compounds that block the very pathways your body uses to create inflammatory chemicals. Think of it like cutting the wires to a fire alarm so it stops blaring inside your joints. The research is compelling. A landmark 2013 study in Annals of the Rheumatic Diseases followed 32,232 women for over a decade. Those who ate fatty fish at least once a week had a 29% lower risk of developing rheumatoid arthritis compared to those who rarely ate it. Even better, women who consumed fatty fish 2 or more times weekly had significantly lower blood levels of CRP and IL-6, 2 major inflammatory markers tied to joint pain and stiffness. Omega-3s don't just reduce inflammation, they also improve the fluidity of cell membranes in joint tissue, allowing cartilage cells to absorb nutrients more effectively and repair themselves faster. In one clinical trial, arthritis patients who took omega-3 supplements for 24 weeks experienced a 40% reduction in tender joints and cut their need for anti-inflammatory medications by 1/3. But supplements aren't the only answer. Whole fatty fish provide additional joint-supporting nutrients like vitamin D, which is essential for bone strength, and selenium, an antioxidant that helps shield cartilage from damage. How you cook them matters. Baking, steaming, or grilling at moderate heat preserves omega-3 content far better than deep frying. For a simple, joint-friendly meal, try baking a salmon fillet with lemon, garlic, and turmeric. This delivers a triple anti-inflammatory punch: omega-3s from the fish, antioxidants from garlic, and curcumin from turmeric. Not a fan of salmon? Sardines and mackerel are just as beneficial, often containing even more omega-3s per serving. Canned sardines and olive oil are a convenient, affordable option. Plus, eating the soft bones adds calcium for bone health. Just skip varieties packed in soybean or sunflower oil to avoid inflammatory omega-6. The benefits are cumulative. The more consistently you eat fatty fish, the more you build a long-term anti-inflammatory defense, leading to fewer flare-ups, less stiffness, better mobility, and a lower risk of arthritis progression. From the deep waters to the orchard, our next arthritis-fighting food proves that sometimes the sweetest solutions are also the most powerful for your joints. Number 3. Cherries. When it comes to arthritis-friendly foods, cherries might seem too small and simple to make a big difference, but the science says otherwise. Especially in their tart varieties, these vibrant red fruits are loaded with anthocyanins, the antioxidant pigments responsible for their deep color and powerful anti-inflammatory effects. Anthocyanins have a unique ability to block the same inflammatory pathways targeted by many arthritis medications, but without the side effects. One of the most eye-opening studies appeared in Arthritis and Rheumatism in 2012. Researchers gave patients with gout, a painful arthritis caused by uric acid crystals, just 2 servings of cherries per day for 2 days. The result? A 35% lower risk of gout attacks compared to days when no cherries were eaten. Even more striking, when participants combined cherries with their prescribed anti-gout medication, their risk dropped by an incredible 75%. While that study focused on gout, later research confirmed that cherries benefit those with osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis as well. Studies have shown they reduce CRP, a key inflammation marker, and help ease stiffness and pain. This isn't just due to anthocyanins. Cherries are also rich in vitamin C, which supports collagen production to keep cartilage strong and elastic. They also contain melatonin, which can improve sleep quality, and better sleep is closely linked to lower inflammation. In a 2013 osteoarthritis and cartilage study, knee osteoarthritis patients who drank tart cherry juice daily for 6 weeks reported significant reductions in pain and stiffness compared to a placebo group, along with lowered CRP levels. For maximum benefit, go for tart cherries or tart cherry juice, as they typically have higher anthocyanin content than sweet cherries. Fresh is ideal in season, but frozen cherries and 100% tart cherry juice with no added sugar are great year-round. Consistency is key. Make them part of your regular diet, not just an occasional treat. They're easy to add in. Blend frozen cherries into smoothies, stir them into oatmeal, or mix tart cherry juice with sparkling water for a refreshing drink. You can even bake them into almond flour muffins for a dessert that supports, rather than harms, your joints. If cherries are the sweet ally for your joints, the next food is the earthy powerhouse, loaded with nutrients that silently shield your bones and cartilage every single day. Number 2. Dark leafy greens. If cherries are the sweet ally for your joints, dark leafy greens are the deep, earthy powerhouse working quietly behind the scenes. These vegetables are nutrient-packed warriors loaded with vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients that combat arthritis from multiple angles, reducing inflammation, protecting cartilage, and strengthening bones. What makes them stand out is their nutrient synergy. Vitamin K, vitamin C, calcium, and plant-based antioxidants all in one low-calorie package. Vitamin K is a key player. It's not just for blood clotting. It activates osteocalcin, a protein that binds calcium into your bone structure. Without enough vitamin K, calcium can't integrate properly, leaving bones weaker and joints more vulnerable. A 10-year study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found people with the highest vitamin K intake had a 45% lower risk of developing knee osteoarthritis compared to those with the lowest intake. Vitamin C is another essential, abundant in leafy greens. It's crucial for collagen synthesis, the scaffolding that keeps cartilage elastic and resilient. A landmark Boston University study tracking over 1,000 arthritis patients for more than a decade found those with the highest vitamin C intake had 3 times slower progression of cartilage loss than those with the lowest intake. Leafy greens also deliver antioxidants like lutein and beta-carotene, which help shield joint tissues from oxidative stress, the cellular rust that accelerates arthritis damage. Their low calorie and high fiber content also support weight control, critical since every extra pound adds about 4 pounds of pressure to your knees. To get the most from leafy greens, variety is key. Rotate kale, spinach, Swiss chard, and collard greens to cover a full spectrum of nutrients. Light cooking, steaming, sauteing in olive oil, or adding to soups preserves vitamins and improves mineral absorption. Pairing greens with healthy fats like avocado or olive oil boosts absorption of fat-soluble vitamins such as K and beta-carotene by up to 80%, according to the Journal of Nutrition. They're easy to incorporate daily. Stir spinach into scrambled eggs, toss kale into smoothies, or mix collards into hearty soups. If you're not fond of their taste, blending them with sweet fruits like cherries or berries can mask the flavor while still delivering all their joint-protecting benefits. And finally, we come to the golden champion, a spice so powerful it's been studied alongside arthritis medications with results that might just surprise you. Number 1. Turmeric. When it comes to natural arthritis fighters, few foods have been studied as extensively or praised as highly as turmeric. This golden spice, a staple in South Asian cooking, contains curcumin, a potent polyphenol with remarkable antioxidant and anti-inflammatory powers. Curcumin works by blocking NF-κB, a molecule that acts like a master switch for inflammation. When NF-κB is overactive, it increases production of inflammatory cytokines, the same chemical messengers that make arthritis so painful. By shutting down this switch, curcumin slows the inflammatory cascade at its source. The research is compelling. A 2016 meta-analysis in the Journal of Medicinal Food reviewed 8 clinical trials involving over 600 arthritis patients and found that curcumin reduced joint pain and stiffness to a degree comparable to common anti-inflammatory drugs, but without the side effects. In another study published in Phytotherapy Research, patients with knee osteoarthritis who took 1,000 milligrams of curcumin daily for 8 weeks reported a 50% reduction in pain scores and noticeable improvements in walking distance. Curcumin's benefits extend beyond pain relief. It acts as a powerful antioxidant, neutralizing free radicals that damage joint tissues over time. It can slow cartilage breakdown and even stimulate the production of proteoglycans, the molecules that give cartilage its cushioning, shock-absorbing properties. This is especially important for seniors, as cartilage regenerates very slowly. However, there's a catch. Curcumin is poorly absorbed on its own. Pairing turmeric with black pepper is essential because piperine, a compound in pepper, can boost absorption by up to 2,000%. Healthy fats like olive oil or coconut milk also improve uptake, which is why traditional curries, combining turmeric, pepper, and fat, are so effective. For everyday use, you can stir turmeric into soups, stews, scrambled eggs, or make golden milk with milk or a plant-based alternative. Turmeric, black pepper, and honey. If using supplements, choose standardized curcumin with piperine and check with your doctor if you take blood thinners. In a 2020 trial, osteoarthritis patients taking curcumin daily reported noticeable pain relief within 4 weeks, with continued improvements over 3 months. If you're over 60, every bite you take is either pushing your joints toward more pain or pulling them toward protection and healing. The science is clear. The 4 worst foods we covered can quietly inflame your joints, accelerate cartilage breakdown, and bring arthritis on years earlier than it should. The 4 best foods can calm inflammation, strengthen bones, and help preserve the mobility that makes life worth living. This isn't about a fad or a quick fix. It's about stacking the odds in your favor every single day. Here's the urgency. Arthritis doesn't wait. Damage builds up silently, and by the time you really feel it, much of the harm is already done. But the good news is you can start turning the tide with your very next meal. Swap the pastries for cherries, the fried chicken for salmon, the deli meats for leafy greens. Add turmeric to your soups, your tea, even your eggs. It's not about perfection. It's about tipping the balance toward foods that fight for your joints instead of against them. And now, I want to hear from you. Which of these foods surprised you the most? Are you going to start by cutting something out or adding something in? Drop your thoughts in the comments because your experience might help someone else watching this right now. If you found this video helpful, give it a like so more people can see it, and hit that subscribe button with the notification bell so you don't miss the next science-backed health tip. Your joints, your mobility, and your future self will thank you. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching.